Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another HTML template giveaway. So I'm gonna be giving away this HTML template here for could be a construction company, aircon fitting company, or whatever handyman company it can be. So you can use this for personal or commercial use. So the link is in the description to the actual HTML template. Now, of course, I'm going to show how I created this from scratch so that you see how you can edit any part of it if you need to. So when you click the link in the description to the template, there will be an edit template button. So you can click that button if you want to edit it, and then you can export it using the software listed here. So the link to the software I'm using to create this is in the link in the description as well as the template itself. So you can either just download the template or we can create it together here. Maybe you can learn something about CSS. Even though we're not typing any CSS, but I'll be mentioning every style that I add to every object. That way you can follow along and maybe learn something. So when you open the software that is linked in the description, you open something like this, and we can begin creating the page. So I'm going to be using this as reference. Now, keep in mind, this is responsive, not, so it starts like this. You can see the header there is kind of responsive. It goes into this mode when it gets here, and so is everything else. The text here changes in size as we close in. Okay, this slider doesn't really work here. It's just there as a mock-up so that you can add your own JavaScript later. We will be doing these things in future because I'll be grabbing a particular template and converting it to PHP to an actual functioning website. So this part as well is responsive, as you can see. So is these guys. When we get to a certain point, they shift to 100%, as you can see there. So quite responsive, as you would expect. So go check it out by checking the link in the description. But let's design it ourselves. Yes? Good. So let's begin that. Now I'm going to start by creating this top part here. So let's first of all grab this color here and save it for later. So I just want to open a notepad file so I can put some of these information. So I'm going to inspect. I just want this background color. I didn't want it to be in this format, so I'm going to click on there and let's see here. That's how you check the colors. That's 010A35. So that's hash 010A35. Okay, I just wanted to keep that because it's the theme color. All right, so coming here, I just want to create this first div here. We can use a div for the box at the top and another div for the box at the bottom. Now, it's always good to maybe keep those in one container. So we will do that. So I'm going to add an empty container here, an empty div. So I'm going to go to empty and add an empty div like this one. Let me put that background color that we created here. I'm going to copy it. Oh, no, actually, we won't put that there. Let me just go to the width and remove the width by clicking the X there. So it goes all the way. And then I can now let me just put a white background on that. I'm going to add another element, make sure it's selected, add an empty div, go to width, close, remove that width. And in this case, I'll remove the height as well. I just want it to collapse like that in on itself. So this now, I can actually add that background color, paste like so. Let me give it a height, a fixed height maybe of 40 pixels, something like that. Then I can add some text. As you can see in here, there's this text there and there's that text here. Now, since they are on separate sides, I would rather put a div within this, which I can move this way, and another div on the other side. So what I would do is add element, add another empty div, which is this one. Then what I would do is remove its height, go to width, remove that as well, so it goes all the way like that. But then I will select the parent, the one that's containing this, and change the display. So I'm going to go to display and change that to flex. That way it shrinks in. Then select that little one again, add element, and I'll add in components text like that. Now the text is outside because this has some padding. So let's just go and remove that padding by clicking that X, and the text is within there, nice and snugly. And let me select this big one here and remove that padding as well. Now we have something that looks better. So I'll select, while this is selected, the main one, I'm going to go to the display again. Now I want to change the alignment to center. So everything is centered in there like so, which is awesome. So now we can put whatever text we want in here. So select, click in there. Let me go to the reference material. Copying and pasting text in here is not a good idea, so I have to type it. Now the thing is, this div text that I added within here is within a div, but let me change the text first. I'll put that +1 1800 or something, and then I can put an email. Actually, let me leave that as it is. So then I'll select the text again, go to edit and say duplicate. That duplicates it, but because the container is restricted in its width, I don't know, for some reason, that's why it's like this. So here we want to put our email, so info@email.com. So let's try that, info@email.com. Okay, so we have these two things. I want them to go side by side here. So I'm going to select the div, this brown div in here. So I'll select this text, right click and say select the parent. Sorry about that. Then within that, I'll go to the display now, change it from block to flex as well. That way they go left to right like so. Okay, also here alignment center, so everything is centered. That's great. Now while this parent is selected, the container of both of these, I will duplicate it. So I'm going to edit, duplicate, so it comes all the way here. Now select the main one. I want to change the display of this, the justifying of content. I want it to say space between. So there are two divs in here. One goes here and the space is put between them. The other one will obviously go on the other side like so, which is awesome. Now these are two text boxes here. So you can put separate text boxes here as you wish for these links here. But in my case, I just put one text box. So I'm going to delete one of them. So select one of these, delete, select that and put those text home / terms / services / support. Let's see here. Support. Is that correct? Yes, I think there's privacy there, but doesn't matter. This is just dummy text. Now in this case here, I want to select the container, the main container here, select parent, which is that. And I want to add some icons in there. So I'm going to select icons and click people icon. It doesn't really matter the icon I select. I'll select the icon, move it to the top, which means there to the beginning in there. Then I want to change the font size to 20 of the icon. Go to image. Here where there is icon, click on that. I want a phone icon. Select that. And then I will edit and duplicate. It comes to the end here. I'll move it up so it comes in there. And then I want to change that to an envelope. So any of these will do just fine for the email. Maybe the one with an @ would be better. So where is that? Boom. Okay, great. So as you can see, that's what's happening. Now, if I want to leave space between these, I could put some left and right margins. So I'll select the icon here, go to margin, and margin left, I'll put maybe 20 pixels. Same with this one, margin left, 20 pixels. Maybe too much, maybe 10 will be fine. Same as the other one, let's put 10 instead. Okay, so this is looking great. Now the only thing remaining is to select these, the parent again, select parent, and then remove its background color by clicking that X over there. Same thing here, select the parent and click X to remove that color. Now the text color here is white, of course, but we can always make it slightly transparent by selecting that. Now it seems this is not working. That's because the divs themselves, not the divs, but the parent has a white color there for text. So I'm going to remove that. Select the same one again, select the parent, remove that color, and then now select this main thing, and then I can adjust the transparency of the text color there a little bit. Okay, great. So that does it for the top. Let's go to the bottom here where I want these three here. So what I'll do for the second part here, first of all, let me remove the padding on the container, this white container here. Go padding, remove, so everything goes in there nice and snugly. And it's got a fixed height, so I can click and drag this height around like so if I need to. So I'll do that for now while I'm adding items, then I can remove it later. So I'm going to click on add element while that is selected. Let me go to grids. Where is grids here? Let me select this one. So what this sees is just a div with two divs in there, and the display is flex. So let me go to the height of this one. Actually, before I do that, let me put some content within it. So I'm going to put this image and the text over there. So I'm going to go like this, select, add. Let's go to components, add an image. While it's still selected, go over here and add some text. Now I can add some H1 text here since it's already a header. I can't see it. Let me make sure the text color is black. And then I'll go to this one now. Now, since these are two, I want three of these, so I can just go edit, duplicate. Now we have three segments like that. That's great. On the other side, we just have icons, right? So in here, I'm just going to add, go to icons. Where are the icons? Just add a Twitter icon, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to go to the text color here and click this one, the orange, so we can see it over there. Select that baby. Go to font size, right? Let's reduce the font size to 20. Let's see here. Maybe 25. 25. Oh my god, that's weird. My mouse is affecting the text. Okay, then I'm gonna go to margin. I want a margin on the left and right of 10 pixels each. Maybe 5, 5. That way it adds up to 10, right? 5, 5. Okay, great. Then while that is selected, I'll go edit and duplicate a few times. There we go. So maybe I should have added 10 actually, because this doesn't seem like much. But it's fine. Let me select that. You can make adjustments as you wish. I'm gonna click that and change that to a Facebook icon. Select this other one. I'm gonna change that to LinkedIn. And finally that to Insta. There we go. Okay, then while this is selected, let me change its display to flex. That way it can flex and then stretch. Align item center, adjust center. That way we have things in the center. Now this div has a minimum height of 200 pixels, so I'm going to remove that, but it doesn't move anything because all three have that. So select each one of them and remove that minimum height requirement like so. didn't seem to change anything. But in here, I want to change the display to flex. Actually, for all of them, the display must be flex. Flexbox is just awesome. So use it as much as possible. Let me squeeze this in by clicking and dragging like so, until I can see that this is not moving anymore. Yeah, I can put very specific heights by going to the height here. Let me put 60. Looks about right. But this is going below it. That's because this guy has margins as well. So let's put a margin of 0. That moved it pretty close there. Now if I select this, since the display is flex, let's make sure the justify content, align items actually is center. Okay, so let's put our text now. Aircon. Let's click on that image. Let's add something that looks more logo-ish. So I'm gonna go to logos. I have these terrible logos. I'll select that one. All right. So these are just placeholders. Now this, that, and that are sharing equal space, but I want this bigger. So these are flex of 1, flex 1, flex 1. So the ratio is equal. But I'll select this one and go to the flex. Now I can always edit the styles directly in here just by typing a flex 2 over there, and that does it. If I go to this one, I want it maybe flex of 1.1 or 1.2. So I'm going to leave it at flex 1.2. Type that in there. Or if you want to change it from here, you can just click here and change it from there. It's not showing there, but you can still just add your number there. And that's good. So now we have this extra height thingy happening here. That's because we have a fixed height for the header. So I'm going to select height. Where is height? And remove that. Now it's closing in like so. In here, I want us to put buttons. So of course, I'm going to add a div. So let's go to empty div, and there is the empty div. Actually, if without doing that, let me just delete that for a second. I can go and add the div that has text already. So components, div text, and there it is. Now the text color here is questionable. I'm gonna put a black over there so I can see the text. So let's just type the word home there. I'm gonna go to the background. I want to add the background like this one here. So right click. No, I'll just select it. Select its background color. Select that. Add the same background color. And make sure the color text is white. Great. Now what I'll do is on the height, I'll say 100%. Actually, I don't need to do this. If I just select the container that contains it and goes to display, change that to flex, and that solves the problem on its own. So with this now, I can align text in the center. Doesn't seem to be doing. Oh, that's because the flex is on this. So let me select that and also change it to flex as well. Align center, justify center. Okay, great. So there it is. Now we can put a minimum. Let's go to width here. Now the width, what happens if I put 100%? Okay, so it does move to the maximum. I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll just put a minimum width maybe of 100 pixels like that. So minimum width there. Awesome. Let's go to the cursor so that it has a cursor as well. I'm gonna go cursor, put a pointer there. That way when I hover on it, it looks like a pointer. So while that's selected, I can edit and duplicate to the second one. Call it About Us. Let me change the background color. Let's see here. It's white. So I don't really need a background color for this. So I'm gonna just remove that background color. Just make sure the text color is black. Where it is here. Yes, great. So while that is selected, if we go to the fonts, I could put that in bold. Same as this one, bold. That's much better. So with that now I can simply do a few duplicates here. So while that's selected, edit, duplicate, duplicate. So that's our services and contact us. So let's go contact us. Our services. Indeed, our services. Okay, very jolly good. Now this, I can select a font family that is different. Let's see. Which one be good? This one here, Special Elite. Okay, so that does it for the for this part here. Now I can do a preview page, right? And see what's going on. So there it is. Now, of course, if I try to do this, it doesn't does not react very well. No, it does not. It's not very receptive to resizing. So we need to make it responsive. Now I added a new feature here for responsive view. This one is called the set breakpoint here. So we set a breakpoint for each item here. So let's say, for example, there are views here. So I can click on the laptop view, the tablet view, phone, landscape, and the actual phone. And this is what it looks like. So not bad for responsive view. But if we go below this, it gets very weird. So what we're going to do is at this point here, in fact, even before that, if I go back to the preview, we can actually check where the width begins to be not so good. So let's go down here. Actually, here is pretty good still, but maybe there, maybe 9 something, because here we start missing some stuff. Yeah, somewhere about here. So for this to snap earlier, I have to reduce the minimum width. I have to increase the minimum width. So I'm going to go to this part here, actually this one. So let's tell it a minimum width. Now before I do any of those breakpoint stuff, let's go to width, and I'm going to say min width is 300. Let's increase that to 500. Okay, so let's see how that changes things. So if I go now and do a preview, let's do the responsive view design. Okay, so now it snaps earlier, as you can see here, which is better. Great. See that? Boom. So let's do the same thing for these two. So I guess we won't even need to use the responsive view design there. So I will leave it as it is. Now I'm going to select the parent of this because there's a div that is the parent there. And also I'll put a minimum width. Let's try 300 pixels, which moves it like that. Let's do the same here. Select that, select parent, minimum width 300 pixels, like so. Let's try a preview this time. Let's do that again. Okay, so with those minimum widths there, things are getting dicey over here. So what we can do is, let me go back to this here. I'll select this, which has a display flex, of course, but if I go to flex here, I'm going to tell it to wrap around. So I'm going to say flex, no wrap, then back to wrap to allow it to wrap things around when they are not in good terms. The height as well is fixed, but we can fix that by just removing that fixed value number there. That way it's flexible. So I'm going to go to preview page, and there it is. Then I'm going to go back to responsive design view. And as you can see, that is way better than it was. Everything seems to fit just fine. Now at some point you can see this is leaning towards one side. So what I'm going to do is select it, actually select it, the parent here. Since it has a display of flex, I can easily just go to the justify content and put it in the center. The same can be said for this guy as well. But let's see what that does first of all. So I'm gonna preview once again. Okay, so it didn't change much at all, but we can fix that, no worries. So I'm gonna close these guys. All right, so let's continue with this. We are done with that part here. Let's put our hero section and put these things there. So there I will add, make sure nothing is selected, go to empty and add a background. There it is. So we'll reduce the size later. Actually, let me just go to properties, the height here, and change that to 500 pixels. Now, currently it's on VH, so you have to change it to pixels so it comes down there. So that's great. Now the thing is, we have an image, but we have a darkness to the image there so we can read the text properly. So let's add another div within there. So we're going to add this that we've added here. We'll put a background image. So let's go image, search for background image. Let's go to appliances here. Let's look for something that, what is good for background? There it is. Okay, that one right there. Now the image ends here and starts again because the resolution, but let's go to background size and put 100. Make sure it says % there. Now the people are basically hidden from view, so let's increase the Y thingy here like so. So I'll put 340, let me put 350 just to be sure, something like this, or it could be 300, so they're a bit lower so we actually see what they're doing. Actually, let's try 250, that's much better. Okay, so we have that background image on this, but within this let's add an empty div. So there is our empty div. Of course, let's go to the width, select it, let's go to the width and remove that. And then I'll select it and say edit, duplicate. So there are two of them like this. And now I want them to stay stretched within this space. So this one, I'm gonna reduce the color a little bit so we can see the difference. So select the parent that holds both, and I'll go to display and change that to flex. Now, of course, it makes them go left, right like this, even though they are not all the way. But if I change the flex direction to column, then they are back up and down, which is great. Now, if I select the top one here, it has a fixed height. I can remove that fixed height, which collapses it. Same as the second one, remove that fixed height, collapses. But let's select the one on top. I want to change its flex to 1 so that it takes up the full allowed space. So I will go to display. Actually, there's one with flex over here. Just make sure I click the 1 again. It's already existing, but let me just type it again and it will force the thing down like so. Pretty cool. If I put 1 on this one, it will take half the space, but that's not what I want. So on this one, I will reduce. Wait a second, what color is that? I think that's about right. So I just want to add some white divs in there. So I'll select it. What to do? Okay, I'll select this one first and then go background color, put that absolute black, then click the transparency thingy to adjust how dark and light this can become. So make your adjustments as needed. That way we have this. Then I can have now a div here. So what I did for this one here, I have a div on this section, another div for these arrows, one div here and another div there, another one for these guys. So I'm gonna do is select this, add some empty divs, select that guy, edit, duplicate a couple of times. Then I have 3 of these guys, which is great. I'll select the one in the center and remove the width. It's 100, I'll say 100%. That way it goes all the way like so. Goody. And then what I'll do is I'll give it a limit so it doesn't go all the way. So I'll say max width will be maybe, let's try 600 pixels, like that. That's great. So it's right in the middle. So now I want to put this text, that text, and this button right here. So to do, let me just use white color, lighter color, so we can see it better. While selected, I will go to components, add an h1 tag, add once more some div text, and another div text. So obviously the fixed height is getting in the way, so let's remove that. And there we go. Cool, right? Let's see what text we have. Quality heating and air conditioning services. So let's type that. Quality heating and air conditioning services. Let's capitalize these guys. Very cool. Now let me increase the font size. So let's try 60. Interesting. Let's change the font sizes, the font family as well, to Tahoma. Let's see, still too large. Let's try 50. I think 50 does the job right. Let me select it again, go to the width, maybe let's put 800 on the minimum width. Let me make sure that in here text align is center. Actually, what I would do instead of text align center, let me go back to my favorite, display flex. And then what I would do is do a column version. So back to row and then column. And then justify center. Justify center, align center as well. Okay, good. Still, I guess I need text align as well. So text align center. Okay, that's great. So we have this div here and that div over there. So I want to put icons in there, but before that, over here I want the lorem ipsum website. Now I can't oh no, I'm gonna be forced to copy text from here. Ooh, I don't like copying text. So what I would do instead, once I copy the text, I'm gonna paste it in my notepad to remove all formatting, like this, before I take it the other side. Then I'll select it again, come back here just to be safe, like so. So on this second one, I will say explore more. Now on this one, I want to pretend this is a button, so I'm going to do display flex, justify center, align center. And then let me put a fixed height on this. Let me go to padding actually. Let me put 20, like that. And then go to the background and put this orange over here. Yeah, it looks about right, but the left and right padding should be bigger. Maybe let's try 40 over here and 40 over there. That looks better. Then let's go to the cursor and put a pointer for the cursor, like that. Let's put a margin top and bottom of maybe 10 and 10 over here. Great. How about this guy? Let's increase the font size. So I'm going to go to font size. All right, so font size 18 over here. Let's look at the text color. So I'm going to select this and I will remove the background color, like that. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Now I'll select the parent of these and I want to do display flex, of course. And immediately we see something better. Now display flex, but let's look at the spacing, the justification. Let's use space between. And once we do that, these guys separate. There's this div here, this one goes there, this one goes there. But I want to align items to the center, so I bring this one down and this one to the center as well. Great. So if I select this, I can now add an icon in here. Where are the icons? So any icon will do. Same as here. I will add an icon. So of course, let's change the icons to the arrows that we are trying to get. So click, let's do arrow. I want this arrow here as well. I want arrow. I want, where is this arrow? There it is. Now I want these guys centered. So what I'll do is, of course, as always, display flex. And let me change the center and center. Same thing here, display flex, center that, center that. Pretty cool. Then select these guys, remove the background color, select that, remove the background color as well. And that gives us what we have here. You can increase the font size a little bit, maybe to 40. Same thing here, let's increase to 40. Okay, I think that about does it, but let's add those buttons down here. So I'm going to add an empty components, no, empty div. So there it is. Let me reduce the width and height. So width will be 20, height will be 20. Then let's go to border radius so that it's rounded and put 50, make sure it's %. And let's look at the background color and set that to total white. Then I'm going to put some margins. So margin on the left and on the right, 10 pixels, 10 left and right. Then I'll edit, duplicate a few times. Okay, so it's like that. Then select this parent and go, of course, to display flex, our go-to guy. And then let's justify content center. So those guys come to the center here. This one, let's change it to be darker. So the background color, I'm gonna darken that to kind of match this. Then for it to be more visible, because now it's not so visible, we're gonna add a border. So I'm gonna go to border. There's border type here. Just select that and put white. That's why there's 1 pixel border with white. Very cool. So now if I go to the preview page like that, this is exactly what I get. This hero section is bigger than this one, so let's make ours bigger as well. I'll select this, but select its parent. So I select the one, the whole container, go to properties. So that's why we use flexbox here, so that if in case we adjust the height, it doesn't leave the others behind. So put it at 550 like that. That should be good enough. So let's do a save on our project, and we're gonna say aircon tutorial and hit save. Awesomeness. Let me go to preview page, and there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now let me go to the other sections. Let me close that. Let's go to this section over here. Now this is a little bit complex, so we're going to start with these simple sections instead, and then we'll come back to that final one in the end. Okay, so let's do this section right here. So we're going to create one of these and then duplicate a couple of times. So I'll select here, add an element, put an empty div. Of course, I want this this color here that we copied. So I'll select that, properties, background color, paste, go to width, remove that width, so it's like this. And of course, I'm going to remove the height as well. Then add another empty div in there, like so. Select this. I'm going to say display flex. Okay. Then let's do the usual center here and center there. So there it is. And I'm going to add inside there, I will add an H1 tag and click. Let's go to the width of this thing and remove that width. Remove the height as well. Then I'll add just some text there. And of course this as well, I will do display flex and center and center. Now it's flexing this way, but I want to flex in the, I didn't actually need to do this, so let me remove the display flex from in there. Let's just use text align center. I think that will be better. So let's put a number, and I'm going to change the font family to Tahoma. Here I'm going to write some text. Let's see what the text is. Happy clients. Okay, so there we go, happy clients. And then here I can go ahead and go to the margin and put a specific number, maybe 5, like so. Then I need a minimum width so that this can wrap around when we need to. So min width, let's try 100. It doesn't compute. 150, I think 150 is fine. We can also put 200 so it can move earlier. Then what I would do is remove the background color, select this, add an orange color. Let me change the font weight to bold, and then select this guy. In fact, select this parent where we did our display from. I'm going to make sure we select no wrap and back to wrap so that it allows the wrapping process. Let me also put margin. Actually, maybe we don't need the margin, so I'm going to select that and do edit, duplicate. Again, duplicate. Again, duplicate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's change the thing here. Instead of centering, let's do space around like that. So there's space around the content like this. Then I can just change the numbers here. Let's see. Trying to change the numbers only to end up typing the same numbers. What do we have here? Let's see, projects done, achieve, team members. Let's try their team members. Projects done. This one can be awards. What's that? Awards what? Achieved. All right, so that does that. And of course, we can go ahead and do a preview. And that way we see, let's go here, how responsive it is at this point. And for some reason, this is weird. This weird thing is going on. What is happening here? I really have no idea. So the background image here as well we should deal with. What is happening? Why does it go up like this? Oh, I see. The height of the thing is fixed. Of this thing here is fixed. So that's the problem. So I'm going to click here. The height of this, the main thing. So let me right click and select parent and then go to height. So instead of height here, I'm going to put minimum height like so. Remove that and put minimum height. Then let's go to the background image as well. So background repeat, we say no repeat, and background size is 100%. I think I didn't put the background size for the height XY. So let's see here inside here, we should have background size 100%. Let's see how that works first. So I'm gonna do a preview, and I'm going to the responsive view. I think this is fine. I kind of like the way the image falls off there a little bit. So if you don't like that, you can do the height as well. If I go to background size, there's 100% here, but I can put a second 100% and a space. So there's 100% space 100%, so that it goes 100% either way. So background size 100%. So this is the X and Y. Let's try 200% here. Why does 100% not perform as required? This is weird. This is supposed to go down here, 100% of the object, but it seems it is not. So maybe in terms of pixels, we can try the size of this thing, which is 550. Also, that is 100%, right? But why does it look like this though? This is weird. This thing, oh, it is 100. Wait, is it? Hey, I'm getting confused here. Let's try 850, 600. Let's try 800 like that. Now this is kind of weird. I'll leave it at 100. Let me see here how it looks like though. Print preview. This was supposed to adjust on its own. So if I do this, yeah, this is the problem here. Doesn't look very responsive. So we'll leave it as it was, just 100% like that. I think that does a better job. Okay, so let me close that. Let's go down to this section here now. Okay, so let's make this section real quick. So I'm going to go to deselect everything, add an empty div. Actually, not an empty div. Let me add a background. So add background. There it is. So this is not, this is actually pure white. So properties, background white. Now what I would do is add an empty div, which is this one. Select this big one, add a bit of padding, maybe 10 pixels, that should be enough. And then we can enlarge this, but let's put physical sizes, maybe, let's see how big these guys are. So 400 pixels kind of does it for me. Let's do the 400 pixel there. So 400 by 400. Let me add an image, components, an image. Let's go ahead and put 100% width. The height we can just click and drag. Over here I want to put a two-way grid here. So I'm gonna say add grids, this one. Then select it like so. So these boxes are now top down. I'm gonna go to width. There's a minimum width here which I will remove. Select the other one, remove that as well. So now they're sharing the space. If I go to height, remove that height. Now before I remove this other one, let me add an icon. So I'm gonna go to icons, just add a people icon in there. Change the color to this orange over there. Select it, remove the height like so. That way it's like this. And what else? Okay, in here we'll add some text. So add element, let's go to components, h1 tag. Let's make sure our color is what we need, which is black. So what text do we have here? Maintenance and repair. Let's try maintenance and repair. So we want this to have more space, so select this, change the flex direction. This one shouldn't have a flex of 1, it should have a flex of, actually I'll leave this one, I'll just select this one and put a 2 on the first param here for flex. That way it goes all the way like that. And then I will select, let me change the font size as well. Let's see if I put 16, let's see 18, 18 is fine. Let me capitalize this repair. Select this thing and go to display, flex, then center both sides. Okay, then select that, images. So repair, let me put a range like this one, like so. So this actually need the color to be white. Then select the main content here and change that color, the background color actually, to this one, like so. Now I want this to fill up the entire space, so select this, remove all the padding from there, but there's a gap between this and this doesn't reach the end. So what I'm gonna do is put display flex, obviously, change the flex to column, and then select this image and make sure it has a flex of 1. That way it goes all the way. So here I'm just gonna retype the 1, and there it is. So we have a full. Now we can change that. So select the image, go here, appliances, let me look for the guy doing repairs, and there it is. Alrighty then. Now the thing is, we don't want this to go all the way to the end. We want it to have a limit. As you can see, there's more space there, but what we could do is select this, go to display, change that to flex, make sure there's flex wrap center as well, like this. Then I'll select this main thing, remove its height. Okay, so there we are. Maybe I needed to have a little more color here, so select this, select the image, right click and say select parent, select the whole thing. Then, oh, there's actually a brown color here. So what I'm going to do is select this, remove its background color so that I can see the one behind, and then select parent and reduce that color to something more palatable, something like that. Then while that is selected, let's go to margin and add a margin of 10 pixels on it. And then, of course, I can go ahead and do edit, duplicate, duplicate. So let me duplicate 6 times, or to make 6 of them like this. Alrighty then. So let me change some text here and images. So I'm going to go ahead, annual inspection, let's see, annual inspection. Here we have AC installation. There's one air quality inspection, heating services. So this one is cooling. Cooling services. Heating services. Capitalized S there. And here we're gonna have air quality inspection. Oops, what did I type there? Air quality inspection. Good. So let's change images as well. So I'm going to go to properties here and let's do image, click. Let's try that. Heating. There. What is this one? calling services. So of course this is up to you what you want to put on these. Doesn't matter. AC installation. Let's see who is installing an AC. Let's put those guys there. Annual inspection. Then of course let's change the icons as well. So here heating, I'm gonna type hot. This one I'm gonna type cold. Can't find any, so use cloud, the snowy cloud. Annual inspection, I'm gonna use a calendar. Any of these will do. AC, let's see this one, we can put some wind. Okay, for the AC installation, let's put a fan. There we go. Alright, so looking great. Things are looking good. So let's save that. Of course. So of course you can change the size of this. I can do shift select here like this, the actual icons. Now we can enlarge the icons until we start seeing problems. It moving the container, right? So this 30, let's try 40, and that works just fine. The container did not change in size. All right, so file, save. Good. Now let's make sure in the preview this is responsive as well. So let's go down here, resize, and it is. Great. Okay, so with that in mind, let's see what's next. There's this part which says meet our competent team. So let's jump to that because it's easier to make. So what I will do is put another. I'll select emptiness and put another background. So empty background. Select that background. I will select one of these by selecting the parent and do edit, copy. Come here, right click and paste. I'll select this, go to properties, put white background, 10 pixel padding. What else do I do? Display, flex, of course. Justify content center. What else? Let's go to the height. Let's remove that. And here we have 4 of these. So we have to reduce the width of this thing. So select parent. Let's go to width. Let's change that to 300 pixels. The height can be auto. Or maybe let's put another 300. 350. That looks better. Okay. So with that, I just want to remove this. So while this is selected, the main thing, here we just need name and designation. So I'm going to add an h1 tag in components. And then make sure that the color is black. Then I will add the designation with div text. Then height here, I will remove that. Select this. Do edit, select parent, and then delete. Then select the main thing here. Go to font, text align, center. Here we're gonna write some name, Mike Jones. And then the designation, we're just gonna say designation. Okay. And there it is. So this designation, I'll put the right color, change to bold. Let's grab this, click on that. These are the workers. So let's add somebody new. So if I do move this, let's see if I move the image. Oh, I can't do that. Let's go to height, remove that height requirement. Okay, so while this is selected, select the parent. And then go ahead and duplicate a few times. That way we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's change the images that are associated with this. So let's add some more workers, some females there. Let's see, that one and that female there. There we go. This one could be Mike Ross. Mary Jane, as always. This doesn't look like a Mike, so let's try Sarah Jones. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So there we go. That's right. So let's save. And let's do a preview. There we go. Okay, great. Now let's add this part here. Wait, we have that. So the only part missing is this one and, oh, quite a bit, this one. So let's start with what our customers say. Now this is oddly similar to our hero section because it's got this, it's got left and right here. So we can just copy what is in our hero section. So here I'm going to select this main div, right click, copy element. Come down to the end here, right click. In fact, I'll just say edit, paste element like so. So it's transparent, the color here. So let's go back to the color and add a background of white instead. Now these guys have disappeared, the arrows. So let's change color to this orange over here. Select that, change color to the orange. Select the thing again and put the font color to black. That didn't seem to change anything, so let's select the other one and put to black. That did. Okay. So what our customers say, there it is, and that. So this is not relevant. So select this. I want to copy one of these. Wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, let me just copy one of these. So I'm going to select this and select parent, say edit, copy element. In here, I'll delete this element. And this one, no, I'll leave that one. I'll delete this one instead, the button. So select the container of this, not the one that has the text, then say edit, paste element, like that. So what I'm gonna do is here, we have the text before the names. This is gonna be tough. I didn't actually need this. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll delete that. We won't waste time. Select the container here, not the one inside, the one outside. Let's just add a rounded image. Let me move this down like so. And then let me add, of course, select the main thing, add an H1, add a div text. Okay. So what do we got? CEO Amazon Mary. So type CEO Amazon Mary Ross. Let's increase the width of this to 200 pixels and the height as well, 200. Let's select a different image altogether. Let's go to people. Select the smiley one. That's great. This should be not so wide. Let's go to the width. Let's say a maximum width of 300 pixels. Let's try maybe 400. Let's put some margin at the top there, maybe 10 pixels. That should do fine. Close this, and this is what we've got, which resembles that. Now there's that what our customers say, which we are not. So I'm going to select this. Is there something else in here? Yeah, I'll select that. Or this I can duplicate. So select that and say edit, duplicate. Then move this to the top. And then just type what our customers say. All right. Oh, these two have to swap, obviously. I'll move this up. Wait. Yeah, I thought so. This one is a different color. So back to our orange with a side of bold. Okay, there we go. This one, maybe I can reduce the text to 18 or 20 pixels. That should do fine. Very good. Let us save like that. And then, of course, let's put down here our footer. So the footer, all I can do is just copy that at the top, right click, copy element, come to the very end, make sure nothing is selected, and paste. So here I can then go ahead and type some content, your website name, or rights reserved. Okay, so I can click here on the icon, go to properties. Let me just change that icon to a world map or a globe. So let me try this one with Africa, of course. And here, let's see, is there anything that says all rights reserved? Let's try a copyright thingy. I'm gonna put that and just say here all rights reserved. This one here, your website name. And then let's go to the other side. Let's say images from creeppic.com. So you can put whatever you want to put here. I'll select this, and because I had put transparency, I think, on the color, I'll remove that by just putting it on white like so. Then also I want quite a bit of padding, maybe 20 pixels like that. All right, that is it for the footer. So I'm going to save. Great. So let's put those missing parts now. So they like this one here and this one. So let me start with, I think this still looks easier. So let me get started with that. So what I'm going to do is go to here, and I want to let's see what we can do here. I want to add, let's go to add element, and let me add a grid, this one here at the very end. So I'm going to select the parent, so edit, select parent, select the container, and then move it up, again up. That should do. Let's see, these two are next to each other, so let's move it up one more time, and it's here. So here is acceptable. So what I would do now is select this and add a background image on this one. But to make things bigger here, what I would do is, let's go to properties first. Let's look at the width. So the mean width of 300 pixels. I think that's okay. I will select, actually, let me just select that same one. I want to put an image there. So let's go to background image, click on that, appliances. Let me put one of these that has air conditioning units outside. Maybe this one. On this other side, I want to go ahead and add an empty form. Let's move over. So if I click here, I can click and drag this form to enlarge it. Oops, I went too far there. Click and drag. Okay. Let's look at this background image. Maybe not the best. Let's try maybe this. But of course, always remember you can move the X and Y on these guys. So I've put 120 there. I think that looks quite about right. So this is our form. So I want to add content to my form. And this is how this one looks like. Now to put content here, the content is like this. Looks just like the hero section. So I'm just going to select the hero section, which is this very container. Right click, copy element, come here, right click, paste element. And just like that, it's right there. So here I can leave these arrows, they kind of look good. You can type some different content. So select this text, reduce the font size to 20. Maybe that's a little too much. Let's try 30. And then another thing we can do is change the text align to left. So select that, back to left. So it's different there. And this thing has to go all the way. So in the height, I will say 100%. So let's move that to percent. Okay, great, that's fine. Now we have our form here. So in the form, I just want to add some content. So I'm going to go to inputs and add an input field. Now I don't want the label here, but before I do that, I want to select this input and duplicate it. So I'm going to go, actually before I duplicate, what I'll do is change a few things. For example, I want to add a margin of maybe 5 pixels. And then I want to remove the border radius so there's no rounding anymore. Let's see that. Okay, great. Padding, let's add some padding of 10 pixels. It's on M's, just move it to pixels like so. Then select this and let's go edit, duplicate. So duplicate it. I think I like that. Now let's just delete the label. And then this container that contains it like that, let's remove its background color. All right, then select the main container, edit, duplicate. So let's go edit, duplicate. There we go. Very cool. So this is looking more like this. Let's put the one with the message and get a quote. So I'm gonna go back here, select the main thing. Let's add an element. Right in inputs, we have the text area, which is right here. Select this. This has a display of flex, that's why I'm on the same line. So if I remove that, it looks like this. Then I can put message over there, like so. Then select it as well. Let's do what we did with the others. Let's put a padding of 10 pixels. Let's remove the border radius. And voila. Then select this. Let's remove its background color. So let's put some placeholders. If we select this and go to input, you can put placeholder of your message or your message. Here it's your name. Where is this? Your name. Also, you can change the names of these inputs. let's say name there. Is it required? True. Here it says type email, required, true, type email. Then we say your email. And then here, what do you put? Your mobile, service type. So here we go, your mobile. And then here we say, I think it's just phone. And required, not really. Here, service type. I don't know if it's a requirement. I'll just name it as service and just say here service type. Very good. Then let's go ahead and copy this box right here. Also right click. In fact, I'll use that and say edit element, go to this, edit, paste. Okay, kind of like that. So say get a quote. Let me just make sure the text color is white. Okay, I think I kind of like the fact that it goes all the way. Then the height, I'll remove that height requirement there for the form itself. That way it's free like this. How about the width? Max width 500 pixels. Maybe it doesn't have a minimum width. That's okay. Alright, so let's do a save rather quickly here. Let's do save on this variation. Okay, cool. So that is great. So with that, this one is actually bigger. So what you could do to make it bigger is put a minimum height. Let's go to properties. A minimum height that is bigger. Let's say 400 or 500 pixels like that. Select this. I want this in the center. So I'm going to go display, flex, and justify center and align center. Alright, that makes it, it puts it square in the center. Let's do a save again. Great. Righty then. Very cool. Now let's do the last part that is missing, which is this section here. So to do this section here, I will do another like this, a grid. So let me make sure nothing is selected. Add element. Let's go to grids. There is our grid. Let me select that. Edit, select parent to select the whole thing. Then move up, 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 up. So I want to see where it is. It's right about here. Let's move it up one more time, which is here. Actually, up one more time, which is there. Okay, so with this, we are, let's see here. We are here, just after the hero section. So let's put some stuff here, right? So I'm just gonna copy still the contents of this. Let's see here. I'm gonna copy the contents of this. Shift select, just these two, and then do edit, copy, go to this one here, edit, paste. Okay. Then while that is selected, properties, font, text align, center. Let's reduce the size of this font to 30. Let's see there. So I'll put a width here and say maximum width 600 pixels, same as this one, 600. And then select these guys. Of course, I'm gonna go display, flex, and justify center. Flex direction should be column, so it's just select another one and back to column, then align center like this. Let's see what's on the other side. Okay, that's fine. So with this, I want to add this other stuff here. This here is repeated over there. So this one is a div display flex again. So while this is selected, let me just remove, actually let me just put white background color. And then I will add the grid again inside here. Now this will serve as this here. So I want to just copy. In fact, I can just copy this over here. Where is this? This right here. That's exactly what I need. So I'll select parent and then do edit, copy element, and come in here and say edit, paste element, like that. Okay, so back here. So this seems to have some kind of limit because the font size is the same. So let's say expert technician. Okay, that seems to fit. So let me select this, remove the background image, the background color, sorry. Select the foreground color and put that orange. Select this. Let's go to height and remove any minimum height requirements. Same as here, remove all of that. Okay, so there's this in there. So select that, select the parent. And let me try again to select another parent. Okay, so that's what I thought. There is more to that. So say edit, select first child to go in, edit, copy element. In here, I'll right click and paste. So here I'll just do something else. Excellent services. Excellent service or services, regardless. So here let's put another icon, maybe that looks like an award icon. So click on that. Let's try to search for award, and there we go. Okay, so this is good. If I now select the parent, keep selecting parent here until I get to the main body, which is this one, I can then later edit and duplicate. So there are two of them. Now the other one is this one with the phone number and email, which conveniently, this is the text in here. I'm going to copy that, and I will copy that as well. Put it here. Let's change that to a phone. Where is this? Let's change that to an email. So that's the envelope. There we go. So these two are okay like this, but I need some text between them. So select this text, right click and move down. I ended up clicking move up. Okay, let's give it some margin, right? So there's a bit more space. So margin top and bottom, let's put 10 pixel, bottom 10 pixel. This one at the bottom, I want to select until I get, select parent until I get the main body, which is that. Then let's do margin top. So margin top here, let me put maybe 10 more. Actually, let me remove that. Let me put padding top. Let's try 10. And then let's put a border on the top. So border top is right here. Since there's a 1 there, just change the color a little bit, and that will cement the whole thing. So there's a slight line here, hopefully you can see it, or you can put 2 pixels instead, so it's much more clearer, like that. All right. So while this is selected, the main thing, let's add a bit of padding so there's space. I'm gonna put 10 pixels of padding around. That's great. Now let's add images over here. So the way I added these images is there's display flex div. There's 4 divs here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this. Let me close that first. Let's go to empty divs here. So say empty div number 1. While this is selected, let's hit properties. I think I can leave that as it is. So I'm going to increase the size like so. So let's fix the width to maybe 300 and the height to 300. Let's put a bit of margin, 10 pixels. While we're on width, let's put a minimum width of 300 pixels. Like that. Okay. And then I can add an element in there, which is an image. And there it is. Okay. So select this guy and duplicate a few times. I'm going to go edit, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So there are 4 of these. They're going down like this, but I'll select that and change the display to, you guessed it, flex. And then allow it to wrap around. So I'm going to go wrap, no wrap, and back to wrap. That means they can go down like this. And also, let's do center like this, and also center in the other direction. Okay, now as you can see, they are close together here. So what I'll do is I'll select this as well, and I'll change display to flex as well. Then change the justification. So this one is flex end, so it goes this way, and flex end here as well, so it goes down. In here we'll do the same thing, display flex. And then let's justify to the start, and this one I can use baseline, or baseline doesn't work here, end like that. Okay, this one is already good. This one will do display again, flex, justify, end, and that's it. But I'll select these guys. I want to remove all the padding, so remove the padding there, select this one, no more padding, this one too, and that one as well. Now of course I want this in different sizes, as you can see here. So I'm just gonna click and drag and use my eye to see what's what. Maybe this one a bit higher, closer to the max. This one a bit less. Oh boy, there we go. This one even smaller. Let's see the other one. This one more width, maybe more height. So randomize, that's up to you. Then I just select these and remove their background color. But for now I'll leave them. Let me just change the images here. So go here where there's appliances, and let's add some more images to make it more interesting. Let's see what images could be interesting. Maybe this one. Let's try this one. And what do we got? That one. Okay, so that's up to you how you want to do it. Let's save that. Wait, what's different about this? It's the same. Just more text over here. Obviously, also the text here. Let's go to properties. Let me add more margin. 20. Then let's reduce the text darkness. Something lighter. That always helps. Let me save once again. And now let's do a print preview. Okay, look at that. That is awesomeness. So of course you can tweak these things around until you get the responsive view that you like. I think this is okay. I just don't want these squeezed too much. So I'm gonna increase their minimum tolerance, which is the minimum width they can withstand. So this is 300. I'll change that to 400. And this one as well, it's limited to 400 for the tolerable width. So print preview again. Let's go back to responsive view. And there we go. Maybe it goes like this instead. Yeah. So these can fit with each other in line here. What I could have done though instead is make sure the flex box here the flexiness does not change. So I could do that by putting these in separate boxes and then just make sure the flex sticks. Yeah. So how to do this? So like if I select this and go properties, right? And then I can do display flex and I remove the wrap so it doesn't wrap around. So these two remain strong here. So I'm going to select these two, this one and the last one here, and remove them. So I'm going to go edit cut element. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Okay, I'll delete that anyway. So with this selected here, let me try and select, let me do edit duplicate. Oh, okay. So it duplicates in here, which is not what I want. So let me delete one of them, delete the mid one. Okay, so there we go. This is what, so in here, I'm going to say add empty div. Let me close this for a moment. So I've added an empty div there. And, this is all wrong here. It's not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, I'll select this and select this one. Then go edit cut elements. So that we only have this in here. So what I want to do is select that. Then select this, go properties. Let's go to the display flex. Let me remove this wraparound column center blah blah blah. So there it is. This is the thing here, and I'm gonna go to width and put it at 100% there. Okay, like this. Let's go to height. Let's remove that height. Then I can now paste in here the elements. So I'm gonna do paste elements. Okay, while that is selected, I will reduce the lightness of this. Then I will go say display flex so that these two guys are side by side like so. Okay, that's much better. So now while that is still selected, I will duplicate it. So I'm gonna go edit duplicate. Okay. But then the parent of this, so let's go edit, select parent. It's also as display flex, but let's change it to column. Yeah. So what has happened now is there's a div here. Let me select this one and change the color a little bit so that you see what's going on. So there's a div here that contains these two, and another div here that contains these two. So these are in flex mode but in column section, and then within them there is this that is flex mode in row version like this. The reason I'm putting it like this is so that it can actually shrink with the view page. So let's try and see that in action. I'm going to go to responsive mode, and as you can see now, it's supposed to shrink with it. So these images don't stretch out like that. Okay, so here I don't want to put minimum widths on these things, which I have put. So let me remove that. So I'm going to go back to properties. Inside width, there should be no minimum width here, so that these guys can actually squeeze if need be. So since I've removed the minimum width, let's go ahead and preview again. Let me see. Okay, so let's see how willing they are to squeeze. They can squeeze, but because the images in there are fixed width, I think that's where the problem comes from. So I'll select these guys and just try to give percentages instead. So I'll try 50%. Let's keep going until we find one that's better. So 70 I think we will do. Same with this one. Let's try 80%. This one, the width, let's try 70 as well percent, maybe 60%. This one, let's try 90%. Nah, not so far, maybe 60 as well. Okay, but then now let's change the orientation as we had done before. So display flex is already on that, but this flex start, that's better. This one as well, let's do flex start here, and there we go. We are good to go. So let's see how this looks in practice. One more time, let us responsive. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, at least it gets us there. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Now, for it to look better, let's remove all of these things. So remove that background color, that one as well, this one as well, that one as well. Then this now, let's remove that as well, the background color, just like this one. Now that it's all white, it just looks like those images are floating around. Let's select the parent of this. It has a background color as well. Let's remove that, or let's just put a white. So close that. File, save. All right. So there it is. Now let's change these images because they look too similar. Let me go ahead and change that. Let's try that. Maybe not too much of this. Let's do the aircon units. Let's see what's interesting here. Maybe that. Oh, that's the. Is that the one on top there? Yep, that's the one on top. Okay. Maybe that. Okay. Okay, let me go to view reset properties panel so it comes back here. I had gotten carried away here. Okay, so this is it. Our template is done. So let me do a save, final save, and let me go print preview. Okay, so there it is, our template done and dusted. All right, so free to use for commercial and personal use. Just go ahead and download from the website, and the link is in the description below. All right, I will see you in another tutorial.